Hello friends, Miss Laura here, and thank you for joining me in our first video for this week. This week, we are going to be reading books that help us understand the topic of identity. Identity. That's a pretty big word, but what it essentially means is the things about ourselves that make us who we are, that make us unique. The first part of identity we're going to be learning about is our family. Family. You want to try doing that sign with me? It's how we say family in ASL. First, give me 2 hands. Connect your pointer finger to your thumb and wrap them towards yourself. Family. Family is the people that we live with that help raise us. They can sometimes steer us into different ideas that we've never heard about before. They might introduce us to foods that we've never had before. And speaking of food, I have a delicious story I want to share with you all today. It's called Chicken Soup by Pamela Meyer and Deborah Melman. Before we read, let's pause and take a good look at the cover. What do you notice? Something was said twice. It's the title. Why do you think it said chicken soup twice? And on the cover, we have some characters. There's a little girl and 2 older women. What do you think their connection is? And what do you think our story is going to be talking about? Well, let's go ahead and find out together. But remember, turn your listening ears on, and your voices off. Good job. Chicken Soup by Pamela Meyer, the author, and Deborah Melman, the illustrator. 2 grandmas, 2 soup pots, 2 family traditions. So if you guessed that those 2 older women were her grandmas, you guessed right. Let's see what happens next. 2 recipes for chicken soup? Uh-oh. I wonder why she's going through the cookbooks. Why is she wanting to find these recipes? How could a little piece of dough stuffed with meat and floating in a bowl of chicken soup cause a problem? Maybe we got to the meat of our story. So it looks like the triangular piece of dough is called a kreplach, and the wrapped around piece of dough is called wontons. It started one rainy afternoon when I went to my bubby's, my Grandma Ellie's, for lunch. Oh, so it looks like our character here is part Jewish. Sophie, darling, here's a nice bowl of hot chicken soup for you. I picked up my spoon and smiled when I saw the dumpling in my soup. Yum, wonton, my favorite. Wonton? Who's a wonton? Bubby asked. Silly Bubby, in the soup. Sophie, my Zischle, my sweet one, those are kreplach, not wontons. This is Jewish chicken soup, which I make for you, just the way my Bubby made it for me. Now eat. It's delicious. Why do you think the grandma was feeling a bit, upset that she got the term mixed up? For the rest of the afternoon, we played dress up and had a wonderful time. But when Mommy came to pick me up, I heard Bubby muttering about a granddaughter who didn't know the difference between kreplach and wontons. A few days later, I went to my Nai-Nai's, my Grandma Nancy's, for lunch. So she's part Jewish, and part Chinese. Very cool. Here you are, Sophie. Good hot soup, my Nai said. Kreplach, I said. I love kreplach. What's kreplach? Nai asked. Silly Nai, in the soup. Sophie, my Bao, my baby, my treasure. This is Chinese chicken soup with wonton. I make it for you, just the way my Nai made it for me. Now eat and grow strong. Did her Nai have the same reaction as her bubby? Or was it a little bit different? How did you interpret that? For the rest of the afternoon, Nai and I had fun painting pictures. But when Daddy came to pick me up, I heard her talking to him about a granddaughter who didn't know the difference between wontons and kreplach. So they're both worried that she doesn't know the difference. What do you think Sophie might do next? I knew the difference between soup with kreplach and soup with wontons. I just accidentally mixed them up. Bubby's chicken soup had carrots and parsley. And Nai's chicken soup had bamboo shoots and green onions. Wow. Wontons are not kreplach. Kreplach are not wontons. Take a look, though. I mean, they look different, but they both sound delicious. Which one would you try first? A little different, a lot the same, and I could prove it. Ooh, she's got a smile on her face. She must be planning something. Let's see what she does. When I told Mommy and Daddy about my idea, they liked it. So the next week, I invited Bubby and Nai to our house for lunch. I asked each of them to bring their soup. Soon, Bubby's chicken soup with kreplach simmered on the stove next to Nai's chicken soup with wontons. Your soup smells very good, Nancy, Bubby said. Yours too, Ellie, Nai said. I took a big serving bowl out of the drawer, and Daddy helped me pour in both soups until they were mixed together. Oh my goodness! So she's putting both soups in one pot. Do you think they're going to like it, or do you think they're going to find it gross? Well, they both sound delicious on their own. Maybe they'll be delicious together. Let's see. Presenting the first ever Jewish Chinese kreplach wonton chicken soup, I said. Mommy ladled the new soup into bowls, and we all sat down at the table. She's got a very happy expression on her face. How do her grandmas look? A little surprised, right? I wonder how they're going to react when they taste it. You know, Bubby said, to be completely honest, my chicken soup isn't exactly the way my Bubby made it. I buy wonton wrappers to make my kreplach. So your Jewish soup is a little bit Chinese? I asked. Bubby nodded. That's right. I have something to say too, Nai said. I buy the chicken for my soup at the kosher market. The flavor is better. So your Chinese chicken soup is a little bit Jewish? I asked. Yes, it is, Nai said. So even though they're different soups, they still found ways to connect their cultures together. A little Jewish, a little Chinese, a lot like me, I said. Sophie Chang, you're a genius, Bubby said. I've always thought so, Nai agreed. Kreplach, schmeplach, let's eat, Bubby said. Wait a minute, don't you mean wonton, schmonton? Nai asked. I laughed and dipped my spoon into my bowl. A bite of kreplach, a taste of wontons. I said. So it looks like they all liked the flavor. Mommy, Daddy, Bubby, and Nai all started eating. A wonderful blend, Bubby said. The best of both, said Nai, just like our granddaughter. Suddenly, I knew what made Bubby's and Nai soups so much alike. There's a special ingredient. The special ingredient in every bowl of any grandma's soup is, what do you think? Love! Love was the special ingredient. Wow. Save room, everybody, Bubby said. I made knishes. And I brought egg roll, Nai said. Are we talking dough filled with vegetables, then fried? Bubby asked. Precisely, Nai said. I couldn't wait to taste my first egg niche, or egg roll. I knew it would be delicious. And that's the end of our book, my friends. But Sophie was kind enough to include recipes so you could make this soup at home. How very exciting. So in the end, let's think about what happened. What were the reactions of the grandmas when Sophie kept mixing up the dumplings? Were they sad? Were they worried? Were they frustrated? Why do you think they felt that way? And in the end, when Sophie brought the soups together, how do you think they felt knowing that she confused them that way? This is a great story, my friends, and it's also a great way to think about our classroom community. You see, we're all different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all look different from one another. We might even speak different languages, but things on the inside that make us who we are, when we combine them together in our classroom soup, our classroom community, we make a wonderful flavor. So, after this activity, or this story, we are going to go into an activity in our dramatic play center, and we are going to make our own delicious soups that we all will get to try. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing this story with me. And as you go home today, I want you to think, what is a special dish that you've helped make in the kitchen with your family? Maybe it's a soup. Maybe it's pizza. Maybe it's a rice dish or something that none of us have ever tried before. And that can be exciting too. All right, my friends, to end our story time, I want you to try doing the family sign with me once more, because we're going to keep using it for the rest of this week. Hands up, fingers to thumbs, and wrap it in. Family, family. I can't wait to hear stories about your families as well. Bye-bye.